All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the news. We had nothing but the news, and so help us God. Today in the news, I get a newsletter from Tucker every morning of all the news that's going on. So I thought I would share it with you. I do. A lot of us Christians feel like that we should put our heads in the sand, and it's too stressful. And I was told uh, in 2008, I think it was, to stop watching the news. It was too stressful. Well, uh, they told all of us that, and they slipped all kinds of things up on us. And so that's why we, as Christians, need to watch the news. In Luke chapter 21 and verse 38, it says, "Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man." So we need to watch and pray. Watch the news and pray for the things that we see going on in our world today. The Trump administration is absolutely forbidden from deporting indicted human trafficker uh, uh, Obama appointed judge says. And so, great news for Chris Von Hollen. An Obama appointed judge blocked accused wife beater Kilman Brigor Garcia's deportation to Guyana on Monday, saying the illegal immigrant must remain in the United States until she can hold a hearing to determine whether the administration will let him uh, contest his removal to the African nation. The decision came against just hours after Garcia turned himself into ICE. Your clients are obviously forbidden at this juncture to remove Mr. Abrego Garcia from the continental United States. Judge Pamela Zenas told the Department of Justice. This told this story encapsulates America's immigration debate. Democrats swinging over Garcia and their stubborn refusal to ad, adjust their stance as the facts have changed had led to liberals passionately defending a man the government should definitely remove from our country. He's on video trafficking humans, allegedly. According to court filings, he solicited nude photos and videos of a minor beginning in 2020, and his own wife claimed he punched her, scratched her, and bruised her in 2021. How is he left? How is he the left's champion? Well, then Democrats mayor brags about defying immigrant laws. Oakland's mayor is unbothered by federal law. Oakland is not afraid, Barbara Lee boasted during Monday's DNC summer meeting. We embrace all residents, including our immigrant communities. Our police do not cooperate with ICE. We don't. We also equate her anti law activism with protecting democracy. You're probably grown numb to sanctuary cities. Activist mayors like Lee and dozens of others have made the concept commonplace, brazenly disregarding America's interest in having territorial integrity and the government's need to enforce its own laws in the name of our open borders zealot, uh, zealotly. Although quotes like Lee's are normally among Democrats, it's worth acknowledging how true and truly insane this situation is. They openly brag about ignoring the law, but Donald Trump is somehow the bad guy for trying to do something about it. Have we lost our minds? Uh, both of them ends that way. Okay. So just keep in mind about it. I'm trying to, wanting to tell you the news because obviously we're in trouble in America as Christians. Our values are being underestimated and underwritten. We're told to go put our head in the sand and be quiet. So we need to stand up and tell everybody what's going on. America, Americans don't care about immigrant crime. Liberal think tank VP says. Barbara Lee wasn't the only unhinged speaker at Monday's DNC event. One of the liberal Vira Institute of Justice vice presidents also came out swinging. You want to talk about the crime issue voters are about? Isha Rahman explained to Democrat leaders receiving her message as if she were a coach. Don't take the bait and talk about immigrant crime or hijackings or the things that actually don't matter to that many Americans. What? The US population doesn't care about its cars, windshields getting smashed to pieces, or foreign crime taking over apartments and murdering Americans like uh, Lakey Riley. Democrat leaders can convince themselves of that fiction all they want, but voters repeatedly electing Donald Trump clearly suggest otherwise. The country is tired of the craziness. Report California fire relief money went toward illegal immigrant and anti white programs. Right wing media talk a lot about government waste, fraud, and abuse. Similar issues exist in the nonprofit sector. A new review found that millions of dollars raised to help victims of the California wildfires would wound up in the coffers of unrelated nonprofits. Some of the groups explicitly excluded white people from their services, while others advertised programs for illegal immigrants. The fundraising organization Fire Aid, for example, raked in roughly 100 million through performances by Lady Gaga, Dr. Dre, Stevie Wonder, and others, and promised to distribute the funds equally. That meant giving to groups like the Green Line House Foundation, which notes on their website that whites need not apply for grants. Other fire aid beneficiaries like My Tribe, Tribe Rise, and the Black Freedom Fund express similar sentiments. Stories like this remind us of our ad- advice on the donating money. If you're feeling charitable, bypass institutionalized philanthropist. That will uh, that will do you that will do who knows what with your money and give directly to people instead. Tip your waitress more than normal. Pay somebody down on their look to mow your lawn and walk your dog. That way, you'll know precisely where the money is going and whom it helps. Give it to your local church. That's where it needs to go. You can give it to ministries like Through the Bible by J. Vernon McGee, and things that you know where that it's going. WLJC, Hour of Harvest, needs money as well. People are not donating to local charities anymore. They're giving them to people who are buying $1 million mansions with their money. So your choice. Put it locally, get out the word of God, or give it somewhere where you don't know it's going to buy somebody a mansion, one person a mansion. Maybe you'll get several people a mansion. How about that? No, give it locally. Shimmers pressured to ex- accept trans teammates may receive financial damages. Roanoke College was one of the many schools to allow men and women's sports during the Biden era. Like the University of Pennsylvania, its madness centered around the male on the female swim team. Virginia's Attorney General investigated investigation into the matter became public on Monday, determining that Roanoke's policy of forcing women to compete with men diverges deprives those women of accommodations, advantages, and privileges made available to others on the basis of sex and violates the state's Human Rights Act. The victims could be eligible for lucrative payouts in the form of compensatory and punitive damages as well as injunctive relief. The ordeal stems from the school's alleged pressure campaign to force its girls to embrace having a man in their program, featuring coaches holding a team vote on the male swimmers standing with him present. Let's read that again. Featuring coaches holding a team vote on the male swimmers standing with him present. The episode took a tremendous toll on my mental health, my physical well being, and my emotional strength, one of the athletes recalled during a recent press conference. My teammates and I faced anxiety, sleepless nights, and a sense of defeat and ambition. And I'm sorry, and uh, abandonment. Report: Trump administration to phase out COVID vaccine. The Trump administration is reportedly planning to remove the COVID vaccine from the market within months as Americans continue to grapple with issues surrounding the vaccine injuries and ineffectiveness. RFK as uh, Associate Dr. Asim Malhotra says the move could occur in a number of stages and with one clean decision, and that Kennedy's inner circle cannot understand why the shot continues to be prescribed. He added that the group's skepticism derives from the 2022 peer review paper, which examines serious adverse events reported in clinical trials of Pfizer and Moderna or mRNA COVID 19 vaccines in adults. It said that those given the mRNA vaccine had a 16% higher risk of serious adverse events than those in the placebo group. So I guess I violated the rules by talking about more pharmaceutical. Trump targets a cashless bail. Old Glory Burns. Donald Trump signs a batch of high profile executive orders on Monday seeking to eliminate cashless bail and criminalize the burning of the American flag. The first order aims to eliminate cashless bail for uh, suspects arrested in Washington, D.C., seeking to stop dangerous criminals from roaming the capital city streets, even after police arrest them. The second focuses on ending the police policy nationwide, threatening to revoke federal funding for cashless bail jurisdictions across the country. The flag burning order was the day's most controversial directive, or ordering the DOJ to probe all accidents of setting the stars and stripes ablaze and aiming to throw offensive offenders in jail for 1 year. No early exits, no nothing. The Supreme Court ruled that or incinerating the American flag is an act of symbolic speech with constitutional protection in 1989. I love black people. Trump celebrates African peace efforts. Liberals are constantly accusing Donald Trump of racism. He's had enough of it. The president cited his African foreign policy record as proof and that he loved black people on Monday, remarking Rwanda and the Democrat Republic of the Congo. He also offered a reminder that his performance among black voters in 2024. I love black people, and did a great and I did great with the vote with the black people. But they say he's racist. He's a racist. I said, really? Trump told reporters, for 35 years, the war waged in Rwanda and the Republic of the Congo. It's deep into the depths of the dark Africa, and I got that war stopped. Nobody else could have done that. Independent of how much the president loves black people, it's remarkable that Democrats are still hell bent on attacking him over race. America is over 10 years into the Trump era, and the less bizarre uh, emphasis on skin color has yet to uh, damage him politically. Why do they expect that to change now? LA rapper charged after roaming city streets nearly naked. August 15th, Morning Note reported a police arresting a South Carolina gubernatorial candidate in his underwear. Law enforcement said the aspiring politician was yelling at the top of his lungs and demonstrating behavior typical of an individual under the influence of a stimulant narcotic during the humiliating incident. We're not sure if rapper Lil Nas X saw that story, but if he did, he likely said, "Hold my beer." The Los Angeles judge has ordered the Zesty singer to attend drug rehab meetings after he sauntered down the uh, Ventura Boulevard in his tidy whities and watching matching cowboy boots last Thursday. I guess the boots were white. The incident featured Nas' whole real name in Montero Hill, strutting his stuff down the street, incoherently rambling about the party tonight. The triumphantly hosting a terrific cone above his head. Police took the near naked Hill to the hospital for a possible overdose, upon the revival, he'll allegedly use force and violence and threats to resist arrest. Snoop Dogg is terrified of Disney's gay stuff. Papa Snoop, uh, he, how'd she'd have to a baby with a woman. That's what Snoop Dogg's grandson asked the story rapper when they saw the recent Pixar film Lightyear at the theater. The motion picture featured lesbian lovers who have a child. Several countries include the United Arab Emirate banned it over its homosexual material. Snoop admitted to being unsure how to answer his descendants' questions during a recent interview, conceding that he did not uh, go to the movies for this, it uses the S word, and that the experience has made him scared to watch new films. We watched it, the lady, she had a baby with a woman, and my grandson in the middle of the movie, uh, like, Papa Snoop, how does she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. I went, oh, and the S word. I don't come in for this. He uses the S word again. I have came here to watch a G uh, D movie, he says. Then he uses the F word, me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. I'll, like you all are throwing me in the middle of this, and he uses the S word, that I don't have to answer for. Although they may not express their thoughts in a similar manner as Snoop Dogg, we're sure most Americans feel the same way. They may not use the language, that's for sure. But as Christians, I think that we should continue to not participate by watching Disney or having Disney app on our TV. Many other things that we shouldn't do. We're contributing by paying for uh, lesbian women having babies together, and our children going and watching it. So the commentary is all about morals. No way. So see, if you hadn't watched the news, you wouldn't know to not take your kids to see this stupid movie called Lightyear by Disney. You wouldn't know. You'd show up at Disney and be surprised about all the gayness of Disney. Or you turn on your app and see all kinds of gay Disney on there. You'd think the rainbows, oh, there's a nice little sweet movie about Noah. Let's watch that. No, it's about gays and lesbians. So that's why that we do the news commentary or read the news and watch the news. So we can pray, watch and pray. Commentary, all about morals. No way. Much of Washington has spent the past 3+ years insisting that defunding Ukraine's territorial integrity, even if it means risking war with the world's most prolific nuclear power, is in America's vital national interest. We obviously disagree with that band of neocons, liberals, and whatever else finds themselves in such a strange coalition, but they're not the focus of today's piece. Instead, we'd like to zero in on the people on the side on on their side of the debate, but for an entirely different reason. The ones who view U.S. intervention as a simple matter of right versus wrong. The national capital is filled with them. Congressman Don Bacon sees the issue as one of the moral clarity. Senator Agnes King says America must remain entrenched in the conflict for our moral standing. Lisa Milkowski told fellow lawmakers in March that fighting Vladimir Putin encompasses our values. And of course, there's Adam Kinzinger, who we suspect is crying right now over our government's continued refusal to implement a no fly zone over Ukraine. The crux of this faction's uh, argument is that Russia is bad and the United States must therefore dump fortunes of resources into stopping its unapproved leaders. Since we're the world's good guys, we must uh, uh, re- reprimand evil no matter what. No wonder if the people describing prescribing to the theory have read the State of Department recent China report. We recommend diving in if you want to hear about a government that's really bad. The profile reads like a description of a dystopia: starvation, torture, forced abortion, rape, murders, genocide, all overseen by Xi Jinping. Communist regime. Reported torture mechanism includes electric shock, hanging by the wrist, force feeding, forced medication, and other forms of abuse. The scathing expose also focuses on the CCP's alleged imprisonment of up to 3 million people in concentration camps, which the Chinese government loosely describes as vocational education centers. Recall that the Nazis often referred to their Holocaust facilities as resettlement or re education camps. The euphemism isn't far off. Euphemism, I'm sorry, isn't that far off. Why is it that Washington cares so deeply about combating Putin uh, at atrocities, but seem completely unbothered by what's happening in China? The aforementioned arguments that the whole thing is about morals can't be the answer, because no matter how much you may loathe the Russian government, it's important to deny that what happening in Beijing is measurably worse, and that's hardly the only example. Read up on what's happening in Myanmar, where a 2021 coup has just led to roughly 50,000 deaths and 3 million displaced civilians. Or Somalia, where government drone strikes are killing innocents. And that's not to mention the perpetual albatross of chaos that is the Middle East, US funded, by the way. The purpose of recognizing these brutal conflicts is to show that the world is filled with horrible institutions, each plagued by the kind of immorality. Washington says it's committed to combating in Ukraine. Our question is why American rulers are so offended by Putin but can't be bothered with other leaders doing things considerably worse. What is that? Is any of this really about morals, or is the establishment secretly motivated by something else? This day in history, on August the 26th, 1939, the first televised Major League Baseball game. Station W2XBS broadcast the contest between the Cincinnati Reds and the uh, Brooklyn Dodgers, giving fans at home an unprecedented look at Brooklyn's 6-1 victory. The production featured only two stationary camera angles, and fast moving plays uh, proved difficult to capture. Swinging bats looked like paper fans, while the ball was virtually invisible. Club owners initially felt skeptical about the experiment out of fear that it would harm stadium attendance, but they soon warmed up to the idea and its potentially to generate revenue. Modern televised sports is a billion dollar industry, and that is the news today. And my speaker turns off. I think you see the importance of following the news. You would not know most of these things that have religious impacts and morality. The the screwed up morality of our national leaders. They use they believe morality is propagating. Uh, you look in one place and it's not the same somewhere else. So that is the news today.